Okay,
All right.
we're in Hull, Alabama. It's September 17th, 2022. And tell me your name.
My name is Millie Rebecca MaClendon Fischer.
And tell me about the farm here where you live.
Well, we live in Highland Home, Alabama, on a farm of 75 acres. We have the farm. We used to have cows, but we don't anymore, so we're just now with a pond and hay fields.
Okay, what year were you born?
I was born in 1934,
What date?
September the 16th,
So
1934.
Your birthday was yesterday?
Yesterday.
And how old are you?
I was 88.
88. Okay, where were you born?
I was born in either Atlanta or Decatur, Georgia.
Okay.
Not positive on exactly where it is, but one or the other.
Now, where were you raised in your childhood?
Up until I was in junior high, we lived in Decatur, Georgia. Then we moved to Atlanta, or the suburb, which is of Decatur.
Now, did you go to college at all?
I went 2 years at the University of Georgia,
And what were you studying?
home economics.
Okay, and what happened? You only had 2 years. What happened in that history?
My dear husband,
And what's his full name?
his name is James William Fischer.
Okay, and how old were you when you first met him?
We were in high school.
In high school?
I
never knew that.
Yes, we went to high school together. His father was a forestry person and moved around a lot. When he was, I guess, maybe junior high, they moved to Atlanta, where his dad became the head of the forestry service there, of the South. And so he went to my high school. That's where we met.
Okay, now, how did you meet Papa at the university?
I knew him.
But I mean, how did you became romantically involved?
We were dating when I was a junior in high school. So we went to our junior and senior
Proms.
time together. We both ended up at the University of Georgia. He went on a football scholarship. I went as a majorette in the high school band, in the college band.
Ooh.
And
What
we
position?
continued there dating.
Okay, so he was the University of Georgia football.
Scholarship,
And what position did he play on the football team?
quarterback. But
Quarter-
as a freshman, not as the
Okay.
big school.
So then when did you decide to get married?
In the middle, after our second year, we decided to get married. And so that's when I stopped and stayed home with my mom and dad. And then we decided to go ahead and get married.
Now what
And
happened
then
to
went
his
back to
football
the...
career once he decided to get married?
Once he got married, that ended his scholarship. At that point, they would not let a married person with their wife live in the same town. He could have been married, but I would have had to live, say, in Atlanta, away from Athens, Georgia. So he decided he would drop that, but we went on back. As it turned out, I started getting pregnant right away and just continued. We had our second child by the time he graduated.
So how many kids did you have?
When? Together?
Yeah.
6.
Okay, give me their names in order from oldest to youngest.
Okay, that's Deborah Lynn, Frances Catherine,
My wife.
Sandra Ann, William Anthony, James Michael, and Victoria Lynn.
Okay, so now what did Papa do after he graduated from university?
We went directly into the Air Force. He went in as a second lieutenant.
And what kind of work did he do?
He was a navigator on the B-47s.
Okay, and where was he stationed then?
Our first station was down in Houston, Texas.
Now, did he fight in a war?
Yes.
Which war?
Okay.
Vietnam.
Vietnam.
And he was stationed in Thailand?
In Thailand, yes.
And was he a navigator on Phantom jets?
No, he was in the RF-16s, which he was the navigator that took pictures of where they wanted to bomb.
So he went all over South and North Vietnam doing this?
I guess. I do not know exactly where.
And
but
how long was he fighting in?
He was only there 6 months. He was one of the last ones after 100 missions. He was allowed to come back home.
Wow. Okay. So as a military wife, how many times did you move in your marriage?
I would have to sit and count all that. We moved quite a few. I never got overseas, which Hawaii was my closest, but they are now a state. He did. He went to lots of different countries.
Okay. So how many years was he in the military then?
He was in there just short of 23 years.
And what was his rank?
Colonel, full colonel.
Full colonel. And why did he get out of the military?
Because he had had open heart surgery and he knew that they would not be advancing him much further because of it. And he wanted to get out and do something while he was still young enough to do it.
If he didn't have open heart surgery, would he been promoted to general?
Yes, they had already talked to him about that, or his full boss had.
Yes.
And it sort of leaked it to him that he was going to be coming up on the general list.
Okay, now he gets out of the military. What happens next in your life?
Then we find where we are now, in Highland Home.
So did he want to be a farmer?
Yes.
And raise crops or animals?
I guess, because we ended up with animals.
Yeah, cows.
Yeah, cows.
Wow. And then why did you end up here in Alabama, just outside of Montgomery, east of Montgomery?
Oh, not east. We were southwest of
okay.
Montgomery.
Oh, okay.
Why? Because we happened to find this farm that had 75 acres, a barn, a house,
Okay.
and that's why he wanted it.
Now, how many grandchildren do you have right now?
I have 13 grandchildren, 17 great-grandchildren.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. And how much longer do you plan on living?
As long as the good Lord plans.
Okay, so you are living alone in the house, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me about your parents.
Okay. My parents got married in 1934, January, I think, of 1934.
And their names?
Lily Frances Gazaway MaClendon. My dad's name was William Fred MaClendon. Mother was the 12th child.
12th child.
She was the youngest of 12.
And how many of those survived?
They were all living when I was born.
Oh, my
Oh,
goodness.
take that back. All but one.
Okay.
My dad was third of 11.
Oh.
And what else do I need to know?
And his work was?
He was an electrician. He owned an electrical company, Dixie Electric in Atlanta, Georgia, that he took over after his dad passed away. And now my brother had it until it got too much for him, and now he sold it, so it was a big family electric company.
Okay. So when did you become a Christian?
I was baptized into the Baptist church, and when I was 10 years old, like most do. So as far as I know, I've always been a Christian. I was brought up as a Christian.
Yeah, yeah.
I stayed Baptist until after I married my Jim, which was Catholic. And I stayed my Baptist, his Catholic, but at that time, you signed a little paper saying you would bring up your children as Catholics.
Yeah, yeah.
So I stayed that way until the fifth child, which was Michael. I was pregnant with him when I was baptized into the Catholic Church. So I've always been a Christian.
Yes. So where do you go to church now?
Right now, since I lost my sight and couldn't drive and everything else, I just thought I'd just go up here to the Pensacola Baptist Church, back to the Baptist, with my children that are going there, so I could be with them.
So what do you want your children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren for the next 1,000 years to remember about you? What's your message to them?
My message is that I've been very, very blessed. I can't say anything except I hope that you all will be good Christians, believe in the good Lord, and ask for His forgiveness of any sins, and to do what you can to help others and to be a good Christian.
Yep.
The love of good God.
So tell me about your health now at 88.
Right now, I have what is called macular degeneration, which is a form of the eyes, which I am losing my sight as far as reading. So far, I can take care of myself. I have what's called PVC, which is a heart problem.
How old was Papa when he died?
Papa was 70. I have to go back. 75, I think, somewhere along there.
And how many years ago was that?
He will be 14 years in December.
And what did he die from?
I would say it was probably heart.
Okay. And tell me about Nana living here.
Now, my Nana was a special person. She was beautiful. She never complained. She was always very loving, willing to help anyone that needed it. She lived to be 95, did not have any special problems. She's very healthy, young lady. My dad now, he passed away he just turned 47.
Wow.
And it was heart. So we have a lot of heart problems in this family.
So what kind of things you do for fun now?
I listen to a lot of audiobooks. Since I can't read, I listen to them. I talk to my children that I love dearly. I used to watch game shows. I don't do that anymore because they took them away. I like to watch football.
Who's your favorite football team?
The University of Georgia.
Okay.
Next is Alabama and Auburn.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
And so how many of your children live in the immediate area here?
I have 4.
Okay, that's good. Okay.
I think that's enough, Thomas.
Okay.
I love you, but...
Okay, well, we did good. Okay.
No,